Welcome back to Mike's Yoga channel and welcome to this yoga for hockey goalies focusing on the hips, hamstrings, and groin. When you're ready, roll your mat, grab some water, and let's get started. Okay everyone, so it's only fitting that we start this video coming into a butterfly pose. So to do that, let's bring the soles of the feet together, letting the knees open up wide, letting the hips open up naturally. You can feel free to grab onto the feet, sit up nice and tall. Just come back to your breath here, settling into this yoga sequence. And now from here on your next exhale, let's extend this right leg out long. Keeping our left foot hugged into our right thigh, we'll come into a head to knee pose. So from here on your next inhale, let's bring the hands up towards the sky. Exhale, shift a little bit towards that right leg and then melt it forward in this pose, really breathing into the back of the right leg, breathing into the calf, the hamstring. And on your next exhale, mindfully release, roll it back up. We'll just take that over to the other side, extending this left leg long, hugging this right foot into that left thigh. From here, inhale, lift the hands up. Exhale, shift a little bit towards that left leg and then melt it forward. Again, keeping this left foot flexed, really breathing into the back of the left leg. And exhale, mindfully release, roll it back up. From here, we'll come into a wide-legged forward fold. So extending both legs out long, keeping both feet flexed towards you. Only bring your feet as wide to a point where you don't feel any pain. If you bring your legs out far and you're feeling any sort of pain or discomfort, maybe just bring it in a little bit closer. And from here, you can just walk your hands out in front of you. Breathing in the backs of both legs here, as well as the hips. And on your next exhale, mindfully release. From here, we'll make our way into an extended child's pose. So let's bring our knees as wide as the mats, letting the big toes touch behind you. From here, just walk your hands out long in front of you, letting the forehead rest in the mat. In this pose, we're breathing into the hips as well as the back body. Next exhale, let's shift forward. We'll come into a high cobra. So stacking the hands right underneath the shoulders, extending the legs along behind you. Just pushing yourself up, really opening up the chest, opening up the heart. Keep your core slightly engaged. As always, come back to your breath. And on your next exhale, let's shift it back and we'll come into all fours here. So again, let's stack the hands right underneath the shoulders, stacking the knees right underneath the hips. Tops of the feet are pushing into the mat. And keeping your fingers spread wide, almost pretend like you're opening up a pickle jar with your hands. So you should feel an engagement up in the triceps. And then once we have this foundation, we'll do a few rounds of cat-cow. So inhale, drop the belly, open the chest. Exhale, rounding the spine, moving with your breath. Inhale, drop the belly, open the chest. Exhale, round. Let's do one more. Awesome job. From here, just come back to all fours. And now from here, let's extend this right leg long behind you and just simply rocking up and down. Getting a nice stretch in that right leg. Now from here, let's step the right foot over the left. Look back over our left shoulder, back at our right foot. Should feel a nice stretch in the left glute here. Exhale, come back to all fours, and we'll just take that over to the other side. So extending that left leg long, rocking up and down, breathing into that left leg, as well as that ankle. And now from here, let's step that left foot over the right, look back over our right shoulder, back at that left foot, breathe. Exhale, come back to all fours. Awesome job, you guys. From here, let's make our way up into a downward facing dog. Again, keeping the fingers spread wide, hands are actively pushing into the mat. And then feel free to pedal out the feet here. Again, breathing into the back of the legs. From here on your next inhale, let's lift that right leg up towards the sky. Exhale, bend the right knee, step the right foot up in between the hands. Lower the left knee down, left shoelaces down. From here on your next inhale, rise up, coming into a low lunge. So in this low lunge, let's keep our core slightly engaged. Let's keep this right knee over the right ankle. And let's keep our hips in one line. So for some of us, we may have to draw that right hip back just a little bit and bring this left hip forward. Such an awesome stretch for the hips and the psoas muscle. And on your next exhale, let's plant the hands, step it back to downward facing dog. When you're ready, we'll take it over to the other side. Inhale, lift that left leg up towards the sky. Exhale, bend the left knee, step the left foot up in between the hands. Lower the right knee down, right shoelaces down. Inhale, rise up, low lunge. Again, core is engaged. Left knee over left ankle. Hips in one line. So on this side, we may have to draw that left hip back just a little bit. Bring that right hip forward. next exhale, plant the hands, step it back to downward facing dog. On your next inhale, let's lift that right leg up towards the sky once again. Exhale, bend the right knee. This time, let's bring our right knee right behind our right wrist. Lower the left leg down to the ground. We'll come into a pigeon pose here. So in this pigeon pose, let's keep this right foot flexed. A couple options with the hands. You can stay on your palms or your fingertips, or if you want to go deeper, you're welcome to come on down to the forearms. Should feel a nice stretch in that right glute here. And if you want to go even deeper, you're welcome to bring the forehead down to the mat. Take one more breath. And on your next exhale, mindfully make your way back up into downward facing dog. When you're ready, we'll just take that over to the other side. Inhale, lift that left leg up towards the sky. Exhale, bend the left knee. Bring that left knee right behind that left wrist. Lower the right leg, extending that right leg long, keeping this left foot flexed. Again, a couple options with the hands. You can stay up on the fingertips or the palms, or if you want to go deeper, we can come on down to the forearms. Maybe notice how this side is a little bit different. I know for me, this left side is a little bit more tight, so just be mindful. Take one more breath. And exhale, mindfully make your way back into downward facing dog. Great job, you guys. Let's keep it going. On your next inhale, lift that right leg up towards the sky once again. Exhale, bend the right knee. This time, step the right foot up just to the right of your right hand. We'll come into a lizard pose here. So if this is enough for you, you can just stay here, or if you want to go deeper, you're welcome to come on down to the forearms once again. Another great stretch for the hips and the groin here. Next exhale, very mindfully release, step it back to downward dog. On your next inhale, let's lift that left leg up towards the sky. Exhale, bend the left knee. This time, step that left foot just to the left of that left hand, finding a lizard pose here. Again, option to stay on the hands, or you can come on down to the forearms. Again, maybe notice how this side might feel a little bit different. next exhale, mindfully step it back to downward facing dog. Again, on your next inhale, you know the drill, lift that right leg up towards the sky. Exhale, bend the right knee. This time, step the right foot up in between the hands. And now from here, pivot that left foot to 90 degrees and air guitar this left arm up. We'll come into a warrior two pose. So in this warrior two, let's keep this right knee over right ankle, and let's keep this right heel in line with our left arch. Arms can come out to a T. On your next inhale, reach back, peaceful warrior. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down, step it back to downward facing dog. And then on your next inhale, lift that left leg up towards the sky. Exhale, bend that left knee, step the left foot up in between the hands, pivot that right foot 90 degrees, air guitar that right arm up, finding a warrior two here. Again, left knee over left ankle, left heel in line with that right arch, arms to a T, breathe. Inhale, peaceful warrior, reach that left hand back. Exhale, cartwheel the hands down, step it back to downward facing dog. Great job, you guys. Now from here, let's shift it forward into a high plank. And from here, lower all the way down onto your stomachs. And from here, bring your forearms and your hands out in front of you, coming into a Sphinx pose. We'll take a breath here. So keeping the upper body where it is, elbows right underneath the shoulders, forearms out in front of you. We'll come into a half frog pose. So starting with our left side, essentially we're just creating a 90-degree angle in that left leg. So the left knee should be in line with the left hip. Exhale, release, extend that left leg out long, and let's take that over to the other side. So bringing that right leg up, so right knee in line with that right hip, creating that 90-degree angle in that leg. Breathing here. And exhale, release, extend that right leg out long behind you. From here, mindfully make your way up, coming into another downward facing dog. Take your time getting there. And then once we do get here, let's heel toe, walk our feet up right behind our hands. We'll take a forward fold, so bend the knees as much as you like here. And then from here on your next inhale, keeping the knees bent, let's slowly start to roll it up. Stacking the spine one vertebrae at a a time. Chin is the last to lift. Coming into a mountain pose. Great job, you guys. From here, let's bring our feet as wide as our mat and the hands together at our hearts. From here, let's sink the hips all the way down, coming into a yogi squat. Try and keep the back as straight as you can here. And on your next exhale, let's come onto our bums and extend our legs out long in front of us, keeping the legs together. From here, on your next inhale, let's lift the hands up towards the sky. Exhale, melt it forward. We'll come into another seated forward fold. If you can, grab onto the toes or the feet. If you can, that's okay. You can just let your hands rest where they naturally fall. So we're starting to cool down now. Only a few more poses left. And on your next exhale, mindfully release, roll it up. From here, let's make our way onto our backs. And then once we get to our backs, let's hug our knees into our chest. Wrap your hands around your legs. Give yourself a nice big hug. Feel free to rock side to side. Now from here we'll come into a happy baby pose. So grabbing onto the outsides of the feet, bringing the soles of the feet up towards the sky. In this pose, try and keep your full spine rooted in the mat. So if your low back's coming up off the mat like this, see if you can dial it down. Exhale, mindfully release. From here, let's bring the soles of the feet down into the mat, keeping the legs parallel with each other. From here on our next inhale, let's lift the hips up towards the sky. Shimmy the shoulders underneath you, clasping the hands together, coming into a bridge pose here. So imagine that you have a block in between your legs, so you don't want your knees coming out wide. You want them nice and parallel with each other. From here on your next inhale, let's bring the hands up towards the sky. Come up onto the tiptoes. Exhale, slowly lower the spine down to the mat. Awesome job, you guys. From here, we'll come into a constructive rest. So let's bring our feet as wide as the mat, letting the knees knock in towards each other. One hand can rest on the belly, the other on the heart. Exhale, release. From here, we'll come into our final pose, which is just how we started, a butterfly pose, this time a reclined butterfly pose. So let's bring the soles of the feet together, letting the knees open up wide, letting the hips open up naturally. You can keep the hands where they were, one hand on the belly, the other one on the hearts, or you can let them rest by your sides. I encourage you to close your eyes here as well. Now from here, on your next exhale, let's start to extend both legs out long, extending both arms out long, coming into final shavasana, letting the mind and the body reap all the benefits from today's practice. So I encourage you to stay here for as long as you like, or if you're ready to go, we can rock up, coming into a seated position of your choice. I'm feeling zenned out after that one. Wherever you are, let's bring our hands together at our hearts. Thank you all so much for sharing your time and your energy with me today. If you haven't already, be sure to like and subscribe. I would really appreciate it. From here, let's bring our hands up to our third eye. The light in me honors the light in all of you. Thank you so much. Namaste.